Alright, bacon meatloaf. I think you're going to like this one. Right, it's real simple to do. What I'm buying these 750 gram packs of beef and pork mince. It's half and half, so you can get 50-50 beef, 50-50 pork mince, and just mix it together to get the same thing. Alright, 750 grams of that, and I've got a pack, 14 rashers of streaky bacon, and that's smoked streaky bacon. I've got about half a cup of chopped up red and yellow peppers. I've got half a brown onion which I've chopped up finely. I've got 2 cloves of garlic which I've chopped up finely, and I've got 1 teaspoon of whole black peppercorns and 2 teaspoons of salt which I ground up into this seasoning. Right, let's get on with it. First of all, we want to get the meat and all this and seasoning into that bowl. Once it's in the bowl, I'm mixing all that up and then going in with my hands and pushing down. It mixes really well if you push down. Doing this only grinds that bit up, but if you push down, you're driving all the seasoning in there. One thing I neglected to do was put in the salt and pepper, which I'll do. Put that in 2 or 3 different lots. Make sure it's spread out nicely. And then mix that in again. And you want to get that fully incorporated. And it's worth doing a good job at this point. Okay, once you got all that all nicely mixed, set that aside for a minute, and you'll need something like a loaf tin for this. And I've got this small, fairly small loaf tin, which I'm now going to line with our streaky bacon. So I'll show you how that's done. First of all, lay the bacon in strips, slightly overlapping along like that, touching or just slightly overlapping. Okay, and don't worry about the stuff that's hanging over the edge, that's good, it's all good. So you can get it in and then move it to where you want it. So just carry on until you've lined it all. Alright, when you get to the end like that, we've got these end pieces to do. So what I do is I lay one like that, and like that, and like that, which leaves you with a lot of bacon on the what will be the top end of this meatloaf when it's turned out. You can actually trim it to size if you're obsessed with things like that, but personally I'm not too worried about that. And it looks like we got one spare piece of bacon there. Well, that would be a waste, wouldn't it? Let's get it in there. Alright. So there you are, there you have it. It's completely lined with gorgeous streaky bacon. And I'm pretty sure you know what's going to happen next. Yep. in goes your meat. Now you've got to judge this carefully because you don't want too much, but it happens to work out pretty perfectly, as you can see here, with that amount of bacon and that amount of meat. So there you have it. Now what we do, let's fold these in like so. Make sure they're all pushed in, folded in like that, and then the outer ones, they can sit down and form a nice lid like that. Alright, next you need to get some tin foil, and preferably you want 2 layers of tin foil or thick aluminium foil to cover that before it goes into roast. Alright, I'm using fairly thin tin foil, so I'm going to use 2 layers of it, and all I'm going to do is cover that in and make sure it fits tightly around the rim like this. Alright, okay, same with the other one. Get that in. Pull it tightly around the rim and seal it off. So what you end up with is something that looks a lot like that. Alright, so there is quite a possibility that you might get some liquid spillage from this as it roasts. So what I like to do is I like to sit it in another roasting tin while that bakes. Alright, quick calculation of the time that's going to need to cook, and it's 750 grams of meat, 300 grams of bacon, so it's round about 1.25 kilograms. Alright, so that needs to cook for about an hour and a half in total, so it's going in at 180 degrees Celsius for 1.5 hours. That's just over an hour and a half of cooking time, and I've got my thermometer there to be checking the internal temperature, so let's bring that out, and as you'll see, the cooking process has swollen it up some. There's been a little spillage around the edges, but nothing much to speak of. And we want to test the internal temperature of that is over 71 degrees Celsius or 160 Fahrenheit. So I'll go right into the middle and check it, and that's plenty hot. I'm getting 82 degrees Celsius, and what's that in Fahrenheit? 180 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's perfectly good and ready. Right, what do we do with that? Well, we can start to undress it and see what we have, because what we're going to have here is a meatloaf which will have shrunk slightly inside and issued quite a lot of liquid. Well, that liquid's rather good and we don't want to lose it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain that off into a jug and keep that to one side. Make sure you wear some sort of protection for your hands for this. And I'm just going to tip that out. So what you get there is a mixture of fat and deliciousness, and you don't want to be wasting that, because that is a perfect stock for a bean pepper pot or something like that, a bean dish. Wonderful. Okay, I've got it inverted and back into the pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush that with a little bit of maple syrup, because we all know how good maple syrup and bacon is together. So I'm going to put a fairly generous coating of that on the outside of my bacon meatloaf and cover all the edges. So what was that? That's about about a dessert spoonful of good quality maple syrup, which I can now put in the oven. And all we need to do now, we really just want to crisp up the outside and let that caramelise a little bit. So that goes back into the oven, same temperature as before, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put it in for 10 minutes and check it. Right, let's have a look at this little beauty. Wow, that smells great. Alright, now it's going to be a while before I get the reveal, but you'll be seeing it in a few seconds. I'm going to let that cool down, let it cool down till it's cool enough to chill, and then I'll chill it, and tomorrow I will cut it up and do the reveal for you. Alright, I decided to wrap it tightly in cling wrap and chill it off. So let's get this undone, if I can get into it, and see what it looks like. There we go. Give it a good old wrap, double wrap. And that's what it looks like. I like this one cold. It's really, really nice cold. Let's take you in closer, and then you can see it cut. Let's go straight down the middle, and there's the reveal. Right, you'd have to make this yourself to know how it's going to taste, but I'm going to cut myself a little bit off and see what I think. Right, let me have a taste of that. It's looking good. I'm going to have a bit with the bacon on the top. Oh, I don't know why I'm surprised by the flavour of the peppers in there, but that is really, really good. Really enjoy that. Wow. So, what's left to do is encourage you to try this for yourself, because it's really, really nice. I'm going to keep that as a nice cold slicing sausage, if you want to call it that. But it's really nice with those peppers and onions in it. It's really, really nice. Much better than I expected. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to follow my channel, please subscribe, and be sure to click the bell icon to receive notification of all my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.